King Charles III and Queen Camilla received a rapturous welcome in Bordeaux today, where His Majesty enjoyed some cheese and a drink or two in the wine capital of the world. Their Majesties ended their 3-day French state visit in southwest France, where September showers failed to dampen their spirits. The king enjoyed a livener or two as he toured a chaotic festival after taking a ride on an electric tram. He was persuaded to have a nip of whiskey made from his own barley as he went round the stalls in Bordeaux's main square. Moments later, he went into another tent where he was talked into trying some organically made red wine. He also chose a piece of cheese to be wrapped up for him, saying he could not leave without having some local fromage. He and the Queen arrived at the Place de la Bourse by electric tram after leaving a reception on board the frigate Iron Duke. Before getting on the tram, the king broke away to shake hands with members of the crowd, who have usually been kept well away from the royal visitors by French security. "We're from Australia," one woman told him. Another said, "We're from Yorkshire." As he and Camilla boarded the tram, having been provided earlier with their €1.80 tickets, the king sat down and said, "Which way are we going?" As they set off on the brief journey, just a few hundred yards, the couple waved to onlookers outside. They arrived at the festival, part of the UK government's great campaign to promote British trade, to be greeted by a band and chaotic scenes as the crowds jostled to catch a glimpse of the royals. On his tour of the stands, the king visited a stall run by the Gilbert Rugby Ball Company, where he successfully met the passing challenge by throwing a ball through a hole a couple of meters away. Then at a whiskey stall, he was persuaded to try some Cotswolds whiskey, which head of sales Hughes Roberts Baby said was made with barley from Highgrove. "He loved it," said Roberts Baby. Spotting another whiskey, he said, "I know Old Pulteney, that's very good." A few minutes later, the king also tried a glass of St. Ferdinand Source La Sec Saint-Emilion. Alan Sichel, president of the Bordeaux Wine Council, said the king discussed how Bordeaux was increasingly turning to organic methods of wine production. As the king left, he was serenaded with a hymn by members of the Fiji rugby team who were at the event.
Thanks so much.
When they arrived in Bordeaux, they were greeted with cheers and shouts of "Vive le Roi, long live the king" in French, from the huge crowds that gathered in the historic city. The royal couple flew to southwestern France after 2 days in Paris with the Macrons. His Majesty and his wife are meeting Britons running businesses before touring one of the region's famous vineyards on the final day of their state visit. Charles and Camilla flew from Paris to Bordeaux, a change from their original plans amid French media leaks. Before being welcomed in a town hall, hundreds of people were waiting and cheered wildly as the royals arrived. The king and queen then stopped to chat with the public. Charles and Camilla flew from Paris to Bordeaux, a change from their original plans amid French media leaks. Before being welcomed in a town hall, hundreds of people were waiting and cheered wildly as the royals arrived. The king and queen then stopped to chat with the public.
For another year or two.
Later they will join a reception on a Royal Navy frigate and ride a tram to the main square to meet British and French business owners on Friday. Charles is to hear about the effects of climate change on forest fires, while Camilla will meet a local charity supporting disadvantaged people. The couple's visit will end with a tour of a sustainable vineyard. Bordeaux, famous for its wine, is home to around 39,000 Britons and is twinned with Bristol.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony.
Their Majesties received a warm welcome to the Hôtel de Ville in the heart of historic Bordeaux to celebrate the strong and historic ties between the city and the UK. Hundreds had gathered to catch a glimpse of the royal couple with shouts of Vive le Roi and Welcome to Bordeaux. Is twinned with Bristol, and the mayors of both cities were there to welcome them. The King and Queen will observe a recently signed Memorandum of Understanding between the two cities, celebrating one of the UK's oldest twin city relationships and looking to further cooperation in areas including sustainability, youth and cultural exchanges, and business growth. Their Majesties arrived at Place Pays Berland, where the Bordeaux Town Hall, the Palais Rouvin, is situated. The King and Queen were met at the main gates of the town hall by the Mayor of Bordeaux, Mr. Pierre Hermic. Children from local schools lined their Majesties' route into the town hall whilst a youth orchestra from the Gironde region played. The Queen was presented with a posy at the door of the town hall. Once inside the town hall, their Majesties viewed an exhibition featuring photos from the King's visit to Bordeaux in 1977 as well as Queen Elizabeth II's visit to Bordeaux during the state visit to France in 1992. Charles and Camilla met the Mayor of Bristol Marvin Rees and his Bordeaux counterpart Pierre Hermic before being shown a Memorandum of Understanding, a document outlining an agreement between the two cities.
To explain this functional veins and what we call embolized veins.
They signed the town hall's guest book before going out to the garden to plant a loquat leaf oak tree. Charles giggled as Camilla poured water on the plant, saying very good. Camilla was handed a bouquet of flowers after she and Charles greeted hundreds of well-wishers outside Bordeaux's town hall on Friday afternoon. Locals waved French and Union flags and shouted "God save the King." Butcher Georges Bertouille, 57, said, "This for us is historic. To have the King visit where we live is something to be remembered." They were shown photographs of the King's visit to the city in 1977, as well as the late Queen Elizabeth's stop there in 1992. Bordeaux, famous for its wine, is home to around 39,000 Britons and is twinned with Bristol. Last night King Charles and Queen Camilla popped back to the Élysée Palace where they said goodbye to Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron ahead of their departure to Bordeaux. Charles, 74, was supposed to make the visit 6 months ago, but rioting and strikes forced the last-minute postponement of his first state visit as monarch, as Charles and Camilla, 76, posed for photos at the palace while saying goodbye to the French president and first lady. The quartet smiled. Queen Camilla looked chic during the engagement, wearing a midi-length frock in a green and black animal-style print. She paired the dress with simple accessories, black-heeled pumps, and a stylish black handbag. The Queen's pale blonde hair was styled into its trademark soft waves, and she opted for a simple, fresh makeup look, pairing a fresh face and light eye look with a nude lip. Meanwhile, her husband, the king, was equally dapper, opting for a two-piece suit, with a single-breasted blazer, in blue pinstripe. The meeting capped a couple of very busy days for the royals so far. Among their engagements on the trip, Charles and Camilla attended a banquet dinner in Paris.
Not one has the same size, but it's different. But we don't go here because Coda, yeah, Coda, yeah, Coda, Juliette.
Yeah, yeah.
She's afraid. Coda. You are too numerous. Coda. Winter.
Ah,
Coda. Coda. Coda, no. Coda. Sit. Fabien cover 2005, and it will be called also. This is 2005. From our private seller, because we have no more. Thank you so much. And this is a special gift. Oula, non, tu as raison. Tu as raison. Prends-le à part. Oh, excuse-moi. And we were allowed to offer you this. You want to sign? Yes, please. Yes, please. And we were allowed to offer you this as our channel. And then it's only 2 bottles. And we have 2 bottles for the English ambassador in France, and we were allowed to put this. So